First, start Umadevi.
Yeah. Live వచ్చిందా మేడం?
వచ్చిందమ్మా live. But you welcome the people in English only.
వీడియో పెట్టమంటారా మేడం ఫస్ట్?
మీరు
చెప్పినాక కదా. ఓకే.
సెషన్ ఇన్వైట్ చేయండి.
Yeah, hi masters. My name is Uma Devi Palakala. I am from New York. Today this is the dhyanam America Pyramid Patriji channel, inviting you the consciousness topic, 41 days spiritual sessions. We are conducting the session season 13. Today Shreans Daga sir, we take the class. Thank you sir, Shreans Daga sir. Before that, we can say the gratitude to the Pitamaha Brahmarshi Patriji and Swarnamala Patriyamma, and we can gratitude to our breath and our parents also. Then I invite to the Nirmala Madam to say the Maha Sankalpam about the Patri Shakti Sthal. Welcome Nirmala Madam.
Yeah. I am telling this Sankalpam in Telugu only, Shreans.
Yes.
My dear masters, పత్రిజీ శక్తి స్థల్ కోసం మనము ఒక మహా సంకల్పాన్ని చేస్తున్నాం. పత్రిజీ శక్తి స్థల్ అంటే పత్రిజీ యొక్క సమాధి. 2022లో పత్రిజీ బాడీ వెకేట్ చేసిన తర్వాత మనము కైలాసపురిలో అంటే హైదరాబాద్ కు దగ్గరలో ఉన్నటువంటి శ్రీశైలం హైవేకు అతి చేరువలో ఉన్నటువంటి కైలాసపురిలో ఈ సమాధిని నిర్మించుకొని ఒక బృహత్తరమైనటువంటి ప్రణాళిక ద్వారా శక్తి స్థల్ గా ఆవిష్కరించుకుంటున్నాం. ఆ శక్తి స్థల్ విశాలమైనటువంటి ఉద్యానవనాల నడుమన ఉంటుంది. దాని చుట్టూ కూడా 127 రేకులు కలిగిన లోటస్ వస్తుంది. లోటస్ కు సమాధికి మధ్యన ఒక మెడిటేషన్ కారిడార్ ఉంటుంది. అది 4 బ్లాక్స్ గా ఉంటుందన్నమాట. సమాధి మీద పీఠాన్ని ఏర్పాటు చేసి పత్రిజీ యొక్క దివ్య మంగళకరమైన విగ్రహాన్ని మనము నిర్మించుకుంటాం, దాన్ని ఏర్పాటు చేసుకుంటాం అన్నమాట. లోటస్ చుట్టూ వాటర్ బాడీస్, ఫౌంటైన్స్ వస్తుంది. ఆ తర్వాత లైట్ షో ఉంటుంది. ఈ రకంగా పత్రిజీ శక్తి స్థాన్ని మనం ఊహించుకుందాం. అది నిర్మాణ దశలో ఉంది. దానికోసం ఒక 3 సెంటెన్స్ తో కూడినటువంటి విజువలైజేషన్ టెక్నిక్స్ చేద్దాం. నేను చెప్తూ ఉంటాను, పాజ్ ఇచ్చినప్పుడు మీరు కూడా అనుకోండి మాస్టర్స్. బ్రహ్మర్షి పత్రిజీ శక్తి స్థల్ నిర్మాణం అత్యంత అద్భుతంగా పూర్తయిపోయింది. ప్రపంచవ్యాప్తంగా ఉన్న ప్రజలంతా పత్రిజీ శక్తి స్థల్ నిర్మాణంలో భాగస్వాములయ్యారు. పత్రిజీ శక్తి స్థల్ నిర్మాణంలో నేను కూడా భాగస్వామినైనందుకు విశ్వానికి కృతజ్ఞతలు తెలియజేసుకుంటున్నాను. థ్యాంక్ యూ యూనివర్సల్ మాస్టర్స్. థ్యాంక్ యూ ఉమాదేవి గారు. థ్యాంక్ యూ శ్రేయాన్స్. ఓవర్ టు యూ ఉమాదేవి గారు. మీరు
మేడం సాంగ్ పెట్టమంటారా?
సాంగ్ పెట్టండి.
जगत के लिए स्टैचू ऑफ मेडिटेशन, पत्रिजी शक्ति स्थल निर्माण विश्व शांति के लिए। आओ दोस्तों हम सब मिलकर धरती में इस युग को विश्व शांति का नया आधार दे। ध्यान जगत शाकाहार जगत विकास की, विश्व शांति के लिए पत्री जी शक्ति स्थल।
ध्यान से जागे जितना मिटे अंधकार सारा, मानव बने मानव फिर ये लक्ष्य हमारा।
पत्री जी शक्ति स्थल, विश्व शांति के लिए पत्री जी शक्ति स्थल।
देश देश गांव गांव हर घर में ज्ञान जाए, बच्चों से लेकर बूढ़ों तक जितना जाग जाए।
विश्व के लिए पत्री जी शक्ति स्थल। श्वास को गुरु मान कर जीवन को पहचाना, हर जीव में देवत्व है आत्म बोधन जाना।
ध्यान से बदले युग सारा, ध्यान से बदले संसारा। हर प्राणी हर जंतु ईश्वर का स्वरूप, प्रेम करुणा शांति से जग हो अनुपम रूप।
विश्व शांति के लिए स्टैचू ऑफ मेडिटेशन, विश्व शांति के लिए पत्री जी शक्ति स्थल निर्माण। पत्री जी शक्ति स्थल का निर्माण से ही विश्व शांति का प्राप्त कराए।
विश्व शांति के लिए स्टैचू ऑफ मेडिटेशन, पत्री जी शक्ति स्थल निर्माण करेंगे। आओ दोस्तों,
मेडिटेशन, पत्री जी शक्ति स्थल प्राप्त कराए।
ध्यान जगत के लिए स्टैचू ऑफ मेडिटेशन,
पत्री जी शक्ति स्थल
निर्माण विश्व शांति के लिए।
पत्री जी शक्ति स्थल।
निर्माण विश्व शांति के लिए।
థ్యాంక్ యూ ఉమాదేవి. వెల్కమ్ చేయండి స్టాండ్స్ గారు.
Yeah, welcome Shreans Daga sir.
Thank you.
To the PS Patrici Pyramid Patri channel, US America. 1 minute I want to tell about the sir. Sir was the greatest master, and he was the one of the most important pillar of the PSSM movement. Sir was the very close person to the Patrici sir. He was doing very well in the meditation, and he was supporting financially and spiritually more. Welcome sir. Thank you. Session is yours.
Thank you so much. Thank you all, friends. So, today's topic, which Nirba said, was consciousness. And this is also a topic of my deep interest. In fact, last 2 years, I've studied all the philosophies, all the major philosophies of the world who speak or what is their understanding on consciousness, right? So mostly, and what I found was the Indian philosophy, especially our Vedas and basically mainly Upanishads, not all the aspects of Vedas, but mainly Upanishads, which is the essence of all Vedas, spoke a lot on consciousness. I mean, nobody has, no literature has spoken so much on consciousness as much as Upanishads. And it is, and different rishis, munis, based on their own experiences, based on their own tapasya, they have spoken on consciousness. So maybe I'll briefly talk about a few of those concepts of consciousness and then give my take on consciousness, and then we can have maybe a Q&A session on this topic. Yeah. So maybe I'll briefly talk about for maybe 25-30 minutes, and then we can have a Q&A session on this. Yeah. So
In between 5 to 10 minutes meditation under your guidance.
see,
5 minutes.
okay, 5 minutes, because for me meditation means at least an hour, and we are all meditators. So, but okay, we'll do 5 minutes then. Yeah. Okay. Then let's start with meditation. Then why not start with meditation? All right. So uh, let's do simple Anapanasati meditation. I want you to all to close your eyes and just be with your breath. Be with your normal, natural, relaxed breathing. Clasp your hands, cross your legs, take a comfortable position, and just be with your breath. Become aware of each and every breath coming in and out of your nostrils. Observe. Each and every breath is keenly observed. Are you breathing deep or shallow? Observe. Sense the temperature in your nostrils. Is it warm or is it cold? Observe. Are you breathing from left nostrils or your right or both? Observe. Lose yourself in nothing to become everything. And now, whenever you're ready, slowly come back to your body. Gently rub both your palms and place it over your beautiful eyes. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And slowly open your eyes, feeling refreshed and relaxed. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Uh, Again, this is consciousness is one of the most fundamental topic, but at the same time most controversial topic. If you see most of the religions of the world, what is basic they differ is what is their interpretation on consciousness, right? In terms of, say, Abraham religions like uh, Christianity, Islam, Judaism, all these religions, they don't believe in life after death. They don't believe in they believe in only one life, right? And then they believe in the God outside, that Allah or Christ or the God, or he's the judge. He's the judge. He's going to decide what is going to happen. And once you die, you're going to go to heaven or hell. So these are the concepts in the Abraham religions, right? Now, in terms of our religions which have originated more from India, right? Like, of course, in terms of Abraham religion, Sufism is a more from the Sufism uh, which has emerged from Islam only, has a more there they talk a lot on consciousness. That is their more on a spiritual side of they're less religious, more spiritual. And then they talk about experience of consciousness and the love with the divine. But still, the divine is outside, right? But of course, Rumi talk about a lot of where he said, I look for God. I was looking for God. I looked in churches, I looked in mosques, I looked in temples. I didn't find him there. But when I looked inside my heart, there he was. Right? So Rumi talk a lot about how the divine is within us. A lot of Sufi masters spoke about how the divine is within us, and that's why. N- so only Sufism uh, within the Islam talks about more. It's more about the experience of consciousness, right? And now in Upanishads, there are many concepts in Upanishads, say coming from say Mandukya Upanishad. Mandukya Upanishad talks about 4 states of consciousness. Yes, one is the Jagrat state, the waking state, where you are eating, where you're eating, drinking, walking, doing your work, right? One is that state. Second state is the sleep state, right? When you're sleeping, you uh, 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 you're dreaming, right? You're dreaming, and still something is going on in your dreams, right? Many times you remember the dreams, many times you forget the dreams, but something is going on in the dream state, right? So that is the another second stage of consciousness. Third stage of consciousness is the deep sleep state, sushupti, right? When you're deep sleep, where neither you're waking, neither you're dreaming, right? You're in a deep state where you say, "Oh, I slept like a log," hmm, right? So And the fourth stage, which Mandukya Upanishad talks about, is Turiya, the fourth stage. So, and actually, it is not the fourth stage. Uh, it is the fourth underlining stage, which is always there with the first stage, second stage, third stage. There is when you're awake, when you're awake state, there's something which knows that you are awake. You are awake, right? When you are when you're dreaming, there's something which knows that, oh, I was dreaming. When you're deep sleep, even when you're deep sleep, but you still say, oh, I slept like a log. So there was something which knows that you slept like a log, right? So that is the Turiya state. That is the fourth stage, which underlines, which is the common denominator between all the first three stages. And that is consciousness. Consciousness is aware about it, right? We are constantly changing. You remember when you were a child, you remember when you grow up as an adult, you remember when you grow uh, as an old person. At every stage of our life, our body is constantly changing. But there's something which is aware, which didn't change, right? Which was aware of these all the changes is our consciousness, right? Now in uh, uh, Taittiriya Upanishad, it talks about Panchakosha, right? Uh, Panchakosha is five bodies, 5 layers of our body, right? So uh, there's a conversation between father and son, Bhrigu and his son, and he says to the son, go and search for, go and find how are we made of? So the son goes to the jungle, he does a lot of penance, and he comes back to father that, oh, we are Annamay Kosh. We are made of, actually we are body, our body is made of food. So because it is the food which gives, which nourishes our body and which gives form and shape to our body. So we are Annamay Kosh, right? So that is what we are. So Bhrigu said, okay, very good. Go, but go, no, but there's something more. Go again. Son goes again meditates, and he comes back again very excited. Oh, father, I found it. Right? We are a pranamay kosh. Right? He said we are made of our breath, because if we are not breathing, we are not alive. So it is a breath which sustains our body. The father says, okay, that's very good. But again, there's something more. Go again, meditate. And then he goes again and meditates, and he comes back and he says, oh, father, I found the answer. Right? We are more than our physical body, more than the pranamay kosh, more than the uh, uh, what was the second one I said? More than the
Pranamaya Kosh.
more than the Annamay Kosh, more than the Pranamay Kosh, we are
Manomaya.
Manomay Kosh. We are Manomay Kosh. So we are made of our mind, our thoughts, our emotions. That is what makes us. He said, no, again, go back and again, very good. But no, go back and meditate again. We are more than that, right? Our mind is, yes, mind will tell you, oh, this is a flower, right? But what will discriminate between two flowers? So again, he meditates. Son goes and meditates, and he said, oh, yes, father, we are Vigyanmay Kosh. We are the intellect. We're not just we are the intellect body. It is the intellect which discriminates between everything, right? And that power of discrimination is very unique to human. So we are the Vigyanmay Kosh. He said, oh, very good, very good. And go again and meditate. And there's something more. and son goes back to the jungle, again meditates, but many days pass by, he never comes back. And the father goes and find his son, and he's in deep meditation. Then the father knows that, oh, he has found the answer, that we are Anandamay Kosh. His experience is consciousness. So he knows that, oh, we are that pure consciousness, right? He found his answers. Seeing the glow on his face and the smile on his face, father realized that, oh, my son, now my son has known the ultimate answer, which is the realization of Anandamay Kosh, right? So when we die, when we vacate our body, we leave what we drop is the first two dimensions of our body, your first two aspects of our body, the uh, the physical body and our breath. Of course, when breath stops and we vacate our body, but the other three continues, right? Manomay Kosh, Vigyanmay Kosh, and Anandmay Kosh, that continues. So, because those are subtle bodies, subtle dimensions. So, what we carry when we vacate our body is our thoughts and emotions, right? Whatever is your emotional makeup, mental makeup, will still continue. Our intellect will still continue. That's how we review our life, our past life, and that's how we plan our next life, right? So those are the aspects of Jivatma, but we call it Jivatma, individualized Atma, right? And uh, Vedanta, with one school of Vedanta called Advait Vedanta. So Advait Vedanta talk about we are all one consciousness. A consciousness do not live in the body. Vedanta says body lives in consciousness. Consciousness is a stream which is flowing everywhere. It is one consciousness which we all came from, right? In one consciousness gives expression to us as Jivatma, right? Which we call in consciousness is only an expression. It's like electricity is everywhere, right? Electricity is everywhere, but wherever there's a bulb or a light and you switch it on and you see, oh, this is where this is electricity is. But actually it was there everywhere. The underlining, whether it is your fan, whether it is your light, underlining is electricity, the moment, but then it expresses itself as individualized bulb or a fan or a air conditioning, right? Or any other electronic gadgets which we see, So it expresses itself. So, but that is not, so underlining is electricity, but when you see as bulb, but so what Advait Vedanta talks about is that we are one consciousness, one pure consciousness, which underlines everyone. There are many other philosophies like say Sankhya philosophy. So Sankhya philosophy, there is a concept of Prakriti and Purush, right? Prakriti is the field, the quantum field, or the from where everything came from, the universe. And what gives expression to the Prakriti is the consciousness, right? Consciousness is consciousness is alive, but it cannot express itself. So it's a marriage between Prakriti and Purush. Prakriti can express, but it has no, it is not, it doesn't have its own mind, right? So it's like the example it gives is talks about is one is blind and one cannot walk, right? So एक लंगड़ा है और एक अंधा है, right? अब लंगड़ा चल नहीं सकता, consciousness cannot walk, but प्रकृति चल सकती है पर देख नहीं सकती. So now both needs to express itself, both needs their expression, both needs to expand themselves, right? Both have a desire to expand themselves. Consciousness has a desire that how do I express myself? How do I know that I am consciousness? Right? Unless there's some comparatives, unless there's some other expressions. Now, and Prakriti is like a seed, has a potential to become a tree, but without farmer, right, it cannot become a tree. It needs farmer to nourish with. It needs the help of the farmer. It cannot become a tree on its own. So same way, uh, the blind the blind takes like or a Prakriti takes Purush on his shoulders, and the Purush shows the way, and the Prakriti walks. Right? The consciousness shows the way, and the Prakriti walks. Right? And that's how they both express itself. So it's a great combination. Sankhya philosophy talks about Prakriti and Purush. What same thing is now talks about same thing which is the oldest philosophy in the world, where Kapil Muni it is written by Kapil Muni, where he spoke about basically he is the founder of this philosophy. And even in Gita, Krishna says, in the philosophy, I am Sakya. If it is a philosophy, I am Sakya. If it is Muni, if it is in all Siddha Purush, in all enlightened masters, I am Kapil Muni. Right? In all the trees, I am People Tree. So where he gives Sankhya philosophy at the highest level. He talks about Kapil Muni as the most enlightened master. Right? Krishna. So it's been talked about in many other in many other by many other masters, including Krishna, or even in Upanishads, it has been talked about Sankhya philosophy. So that's why we know that this philosophy is even before it is the oldest philosophy in the world, right? So Sankhya also, and today the whole quantum science so well resonates with Sankhya philosophy, where it talks about how our thoughts and emotions create a reality, right? How we are the creator of our own life. There's no God who is deciding what to happen with your life. God just created the law of attraction. So Sankhya philosophy do not talk about God. It talks about Purush consciousness and Prakriti, and it takes the whole creation happens because of the combination, because of the both coming together, right? Both were incomplete without each other. Both wanted each other, right? And that's what Sankhya says, that's how the consciousness expresses itself, lives its life with Prakriti. And what Prakriti gives is first is intellect. They call it Mahat, intellect, then ego, your identity, and then all the 24 aspects of our life. And it talks about 25 tattvas. 24 is of Prakriti, and one is Purush consciousness, which includes our body, all our body parts, our senses, 5 senses, Panch Mahabhut, like air, water, fire, earth, ether, all those five Panch Mahabhuts. And so basically all talks about, I will not go much into detail. So all these 24 tattvas, which is how, but the moment the ego came, man, buddhi for man, then it came ego. And the moment the ego came, we forgot that we are consciousness, right? We as human beings started believing that, oh, we are that ego only, that identity itself. We got engrossed in that, right? Sankhya philosophy also says that before ego came the intellect, and that's why it says intellect is closest to the consciousness, right? So, and that's why we use intellect. We use a power of our discrimination, of our awareness. Awareness is intellect, right? We use our intellect to experience, to reach to the level of consciousness. Even when we say observe our breath, anapansati, we use our mind to get out of the mind, right? We use our intellect. Oh, I don't need to think anything else. I need to observe my breath. right? Mind is going everywhere. Man is going everywhere. Man chanchal hai. But no, I will not go with my mind. I will use with my, I'll focus. मैं मन के साथ नहीं जाऊंगा. I will just again come back to my breath. But then there comes a stage when you lose track of your breath also, because you reach a state of no mind, right? And then you become one with your consciousness. Then you realize, oh, you are that expanded self, right? Because the ego is dropped, the identity is dropped, all the resistance which comes because of the identity is dropped, and you experience your pure consciousness. Even in that flicker of moment, even for 10 seconds, if you experience that, you are a Buddha for 10 seconds, right? You are a Mahavir for 10 seconds, you are a Krishna for 10 seconds. So you experience that consciousness. But once you experience that consciousness, you never come back as the same person. Because then you realize who you truly are. What is your true? It is like when the wave realizes that, oh, it's an ocean, right? When the cloud realizes, oh, it's not just the cloud. There's something beyond the cloud, which is the sky. And I am that sky, right? That infinite sky, that infinite ocean, right? So it is that expression where when you realize that as a consciousness, we realize that, oh, we are that, which is pure, which is untainted, which is unaffected, right? Then our whole perception of our life changes. And the very nature of that consciousness is Satya Chit Anand, pure love, pure joy, pure wholeness, complete in itself. And when you experience that, then the changes happen. Then all the attachment towards the worldly things drops away. Because why do you want worldly things? Because everything that we want in our life is for an emotional payoff. Or when I get this, I'll get happiness. When I get this, I'll get happiness. Right? 7.9 billion people on the planet, we're all chasing one common thing, happiness. But then, and because you're getting happiness, you get attached to it. But the same thing which can give you happiness, the very nature of this, everything outside is the temporariness. The nature is, it is there today, it may not be there tomorrow. Somebody is your best friend today, but may not be your best friend tomorrow. Right? Trump and Elon Musk were best friends once, and then they drifted apart, right? So
Example.
yes, example. So like that, right? You marry a person, you go against your family, you say, oh, I want to marry this, and you go both get married with each other. 5 years later, now you want divorce, right? So this is how it is, the intemporariness of everything outside, right? You buy your best car, somebody steals the car, the same car which gave you happiness become the cause of your sorrow. Or you see your brother buying a much better car. After 1 year, now you say, oh, this car is so boring now. I need this car or new model. You buy a smartphone, you say, oh, I love this phone. What a phone. After 2 years, some new model comes and you say, oh my God, I want that. Right? So you're never satisfied. You're never content. You're always looking for something more, something more. The dopamine rush wears off and you want something more. So the problem is not in attaching with things, but problem is you're attached with something whose very nature is intemporary, is not permanent. But when you experience consciousness, you realize that you feel attached with your consciousness because it's not even attachment. You are that. You are one with that consciousness. That is true you, which is permanent, which is eternal. You experience your own eternity, right? You realize that whatever I am attaching outside, and who is attaching with outside is your identity, your ego. Oh, I am Shreyans. Oh, I am Nirmala. I am Gayatri, right? Whoever you are, oh, this is my personality, this is me. But who are you? That was a name given by your father or your parents, right? But now we identify with that name. Oh, that is me. That was just a name given. What is name? Just some verbal words, which is just energy and vibration. But now you, with those, anybody uses those words with those, expresses those energy and vibration, you say, oh, this is me. Yeah, this identity. Somebody abuses you or praises you by that word, you feel either very elevated or you feel angry or upset, right? Because so who is identifying with those words is your identity. So what gives attachment is your identity. So when you meditate, when you become nobody, nothing, you drop your identity. When the identity is gone, all the resistance which comes from that through because of our identity, and because of the identity, we get attached to the world of things. And when we get attached to the world of things, we start seeing ourselves in those things that also become the source of sorrow or some form of resistance, some form of non-acceptance to what is, right? We wanted something, but something else happened. So now we are upset, we are angry, we want to change it, right? So all resistance to existence is because of your identity. When the identity is dropped, all the resistance is dropped, all the attachment is dropped. Because what get attached, it is identity with identified with things, right? So if there's no identity, then who is they get? There's nobody to get attached to get attached with, right? So then the attachment is gone. But then you experience pure consciousness, which is then you realize, oh, this is who I am. But the truth is, since we are always conditioned to believe that happiness lies outside of us, that is what we have learned from our mother, father, teacher, preacher, minister, friends, religion, nation, superstition. Everything said it's outside of us. We forgot that we are actually pure consciousness. We've been told that seeing is believing. Because you can't see consciousness, now you don't believe it. Right? We've been told that, oh, no pain, no gain. Hard work is the way to success. So we said, oh, we have to work hard to find something, to get something, to be happy, to be joyful. So we forgot that, oh, actually we are that pure consciousness, very nature is pure happiness, infinite joy, infinite happiness. That very fountain of happiness is already, that's what our true nature is. That's already is there within us. But we don't believe it because it is too good to be true. How can something which is the infinite source of joy, infinite source of happiness, for which I have to work so hard, can be so easily available? Not possible. It's too good to be true. We don't believe it because it is too close to even look to see it. We are. It's like we are living in consciousness. It is within us, and it is all around us. We are swimming in consciousness, but yet we are unaware of it. It's like Kabir Das ji said, "The pani mein meen pyasi." It's the same story like a fish is thirsty in water. So same is our state, that we are living consciousness, but yet we are unaware of it, right? So but once with the help of meditation, once you experience that consciousness, everything changes, because you realize, and the beauty is, no matter what you have done, as Sankhya philosophy says, right? No matter what you have done, as Advaita Vedanta says, no matter how many crimes have you committed, but that is all Prakriti. Prakriti within Prakriti. Right? It is thoughts, emotions, mind, intellect, all within that state. The one aspect of you, which is pure consciousness, remained pure always. That was always untainted. That was unaffected. Right? That's what Ashtavakra said. That was Shankaracharya said. That's what Sankhya philosophy said, that remained pure, untainted. And that is what you truly are. And that is where you can go anytime and retreat and experience it. That's why in one lifetime, no matter how many sins have you committed in your past life or even in this life, you still, because that aspect of you still remain pure, you can still realize it. That's why it's called self-realization. It is only a realizing of yourself. We get lost in selfie, which is our identity, that prakriti, the ego self, not the purush. What we post on the Instagram or the Facebook or the social media is a selfie, identity. Oh, I went on a holiday. Oh, I'm eating this. Right? But that pure consciousness, which is formless, that is the real self, not the selfie. Right? But we think that selfie that we pose is the real self. That is not, that is Prakriti. The Purush, which is pure consciousness, is what we truly are. Right? So we have to start. Then the awareness comes that, oh, while we are in this three-dimensional, you have to live with that. Once you experience that consciousness, that awareness comes alive. That, oh, this is what I know what I am. Even when you are playing different roles, we need ego also to survive in this three-dimensional reality. But while I'm playing these roles, as a mother, as a father, as a teacher, as a student, or as a businessman, or as a doing certain job, as a doctor, or as an army officer, whatever roles I'm playing, it's only a role. That is not you. It's a temporary role we play in our day-to-day life. But that awareness comes, no, but eventually I am pure consciousness. That is my true self is. I've experienced it. So how can I deny it? Because then all the fear goes away, all the anxiety goes away. Because now you know that you can go in and retreat and experience at any time. And experience that pure love, pure joy, that eternity anytime. So then what is there to fear? Death. It is the death of the ego, the identity drops. The physical body goes away. But I live forever. Right? Then you don't fear death. You don't get any anxiety with no matter what happens. My happiness is already within me. My happiness is not dependent on the outcome of the outside reality. So you lose any anxiety. If good happens, good. Bad happens, good. Because I am anyways happy. I am anyways joyful. It is anyways I am unaffected by any of those things. It is only Prakriti within Prakriti. But my true consciousness is unaffected, untainted. It is complete in itself. It is whole. Right? Nobody completes me. We say, oh, we get into a marriage, we fall in love and say, oh, you complete me. Right? But again, that is Prakriti within Prakriti. The true consciousness is pure wholeness. When you experience your wholeness, then you share your wholeness with others. When two whole people come together, they rejoice in each other's wholeness, not dependent on each other. As long as you're dependent, then the same person who can give you, who tells you complete, means your happiness is dependent on that person. If they stop talking to you, they are angry, they are upset, their behavior has a huge impact on your emotions. You're attached to them because you think, oh, they will give me happiness. So whether it is people, places, things, time, event, whatever, the moment, as long as you're dependent outside, you're actually, when the focus is outside, you're not able to look within and experience that consciousness. There's a story, one old woman living in a hut. She dropped her key somewhere She goes out of the hut and see, oh, in the night, there's a street light is there. She starts searching for the key outside on the streets. People passerby says, oh, what is this old woman looking? Let me help. Let us help her. So she says, oh, I dropped my key. So everybody starts searching for her key on the streets. After a long, to start searching, nobody found the key. Then somebody asks, but do you remember where you dropped the key? She said, oh, I dropped it inside the hut. Then they say, then why are you searching it outside? She says, because there's no light inside. It's dark. So, and that is how we are living our life. Because we can't see consciousness. We have been conditioned to look outside because outside is so much of light. So we look outside. We don't want to look within. But our true consciousness is within us. Right? We are scared to lose our identity. If you have to look within, if you have to become thoughtless, we lose our identity. We are scared because we are attached to everything outside. But because we don't know that there is something much more beyond our identity. Right? When the wave loses its identity, it becomes an ocean. Right? So where are you less by dying? Rumi said, I died as a mineral, I became a plant. I died as a plant, I rose as an animal. I died as an animal, I became a human. So where was I less by dying? So now, but ego fears losing its death, losing its identity. So ego keeps us trapped in the surface reality of this three-dimensional reality. Because ego, that is how the ego can only survive in this three-dimensional reality. So ego keeps us trapped in this three-dimensional reality. Because to experience consciousness, ego has to die. Ego has to lose identity. And nobody loves dying. Ego wants to survive. Ego wants to thrive. So, but when the ego, that's why a bad day for an ego is actually a good day for your consciousness. Sometimes when the ego is hurt, when the ego is upset, when the ego is bruised, maybe you will. That's why a lot of times people go into spirituality when they are going through some crisis, when they're disillusioned by the world outside. Many times they enter into depression because they're disillusioned by the world outside. No, nothing outside is still giving them happiness. But that depression means depressed from the compulsion to work, to find happiness outside. And that is the time, then they look within. And then they realize that depression becomes a blessing. And they realize their consciousness, they experience their consciousness. They go into meditation, they go into spirituality. Right? And so many times people wait for crisis to change. But my message is, why wait? Why not experience it in a state of joy and inspiration?
Yes.
Right? So now there are many different religions, has a different take on consciousness, right? Like Advaita Vedanta says we are one consciousness. Jainism says no, we even though we realize we are pure consciousness, we all realize our consciousness, but we remain as individualized consciousness. We continue to stay as individualized consciousness, and we never became one consciousness. So there are different takes on consciousness, but my thing is but Jainism also talk about anikantvad. Everybody has a different view, and first, so there's no point in getting to debate whether I'm one consciousness or whether I'm one individualized consciousness. Our job is to realize that consciousness. And when we realize it, we will know whether I am one or whether I am many, or one of the many, right? Bottom line is you realize it. So there's no point getting into the debate is what is the ultimate. Finally, first reach your building. Then you realize that, then you know that house has many rooms or there's only one room. But first reach there. Without reaching this, there's no point debating on it. Right? So, and then you reach there, you'll know it yourself. So what is the point to debate about it? Right? So even though different religions talk, but one common fundamental thing is they all religions which originated from India. One common thing is all philosophies which originated from India. They all talk about consciousness, right? Except for Charvak philosophy. Charvak is another philosophy. He says there is no consciousness, there is no life after death. If you steal, just enjoy life. Even if you steal it, even if you beg, borrow, steal, and drink, and dance, and eat, you do it because who cares about other life? There's no life after that. Who have seen it? But though we laugh at it, but in some aspect, we are all Charvak also. Right? In our day to day, we are doing the same thing of what Charvak said. All we are finding all happiness in these materialistic things. This is what even if you make millions, now you want billions. Right? So we are all, in a way, we are all Charvak also. But of course, but that is, we all also act as a limited being. Even though we are that unlimited self, that pure consciousness. So a lot of these philosophies in Western they call it philosophy. In India we call it darshan. Darshan is a way of looking at it, a viewpoint. It's how you look at it. It's a perspective. So it's all perspective, and perspectives could be many. So and we learn from each perspective. Something is good about each perspective, right? That's what Jainism talk about anikantvad. The one common example is this one big elephant. There are 5 blinds, right? Everybody was asked, how does the elephant look like? Somebody was holding the tail. Say, elephant is like a snake. Somebody was holding the stomach. They say, elephant is like a big plate. Somebody was holding the trunk. Somebody said, elephant is like a pillar. Or somebody was holding, so different people, different, same elephant. Everybody spoke as per their experience. And all were right, but all were incomplete. They were right. They were seeing the part of the whole. So many times we form our perspective knowing the part of the whole, not knowing the whole thing. So and we argue over our perspective. But both perspectives could be right. But only thing is we argue because we think my part perspective is the whole. Other is arguing because they think their part perspective is the whole. So Jainism, there's another philosophy, one is anikantvad. So to respect each other's perspective while believing in your own perspective also. But it is not at the cost of each other. Both could be right. Life is all about perspective. Another philosophy, concept of Jainism is of Syadvad. Syadvad means maybe it is right. See, at every stage of life, even at every stage of spiritual growth also, our understanding changes. Our understanding evolves. Right? What I believed 20 years back I may not believe it to be true this time. But 20 years I believe that, that was the only truth. I was ready to argue. I was ready to fight. But again, 20 years later, I have a different belief, right? So who was right, that or that? So no, at that time, that was right for you from your perspective, from that understanding. Today, as my understanding has evolved or grown, so today this is right. Maybe 10 years later, again, I may say, oh, that was all stupid. How stupid I was 10 years back. Right? So Jainism says everything say maybe, shayad. Maybe it is right, maybe it is wrong. Then you don't fight for your truth. You honor the other's truth while you hold your truth. Right? You are like a water flowing. Right? There's no ego involved in your knowledge, in your understanding. Right? So, friends, this is my basic understanding of consciousness. I'm happy to take any questions if we have. I think maybe you can 5-10 minutes we can take questions, though I already surpassed time.
Thank you so much, Shreans. Very well explained. When ego drops, then the realization comes. But nobody is
When the ego
ready.
what the ego weeps in what it has lost, the spirit rejoices in what it has found.
Identity. Nobody is ready to lose their identity. And I'm inviting people to ask the questions. Jay Prasad Garu from Dallas. Jay Prasad Garu, Nara?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah.
If they have any questions, they can raise hands. So, yeah.
He's a great spiritual master, Jay Prasad Garu, who lives in Dallas, France.
Okay.
Wrote a book also. Jay Prasad Garu,
చెప్పండి మ్యామ్
మీరు జస్ట్ మాట్లాడండి శ్రేయాన్స్ చెప్పిన దాని మీద మీరు
I was on and off. Shreans, it's nice to meet you, sir. Here, fantastic, explanation about consciousness and various religions, how consciousness is perceived. And then some of the points that you have touched upon was really eye-opening, pretty good, sir, very well articulated and presented. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jay Prasad Garu. Very well explained. Ajay,
I'll speak. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, am I audible, ma'am?
Yeah.
Yes, thank you. Hi, Shreyansh. My name is Ajay. I think last time also we spoke. So, thank you so much for coming, for addressing a lot of things on consciousness. So, I also study Ramtha. So, 5 CDs and other books also I'm reading right now. Thank you so much. And recently I got to know about Rumi. So then I also searching for Rumi quotations on that. And one of the greatest quotation I had from Rumi is, so consciousness there in plants, animals, and everything kingdoms, humans also there. But in
Ajay,
I think
వినపడటం వాయిస్ లాస్ట్.
యా కట్ అయ్యారమ్మా.
అంటే తన ఊర్లో ఉన్నారు, సిగ్నల్స్ లేకుండా.
network problem. Am I audible? Yeah, sorry for that. So I think consciousness is pure awareness, but what consciousness we have, and consciousness on what, and awareness of which thing we have. So generally in meditation we have awareness of nothing and stillness, but when we wake up, so our consciousness on different things. So we should be aware of what consciousness we have and what we have consciousness. So thank you so much. So you clearly explained the difference between Prakriti and Purusha. So how can we suddenly see unconditionally, so that we can be aware of
Thank you, Ajay. Thank you. Anybody wants to interact with Shreyans?
Vijay has raised her hands.
Yeah, Vijay madam. She's from Bangalore. Vijay madam. Vijay madam చెప్పండి.
Namaste, madam. Namaste, sir.
Namaste, Vijay.
So, sir explained very nicely identity and the consciousness difference, and keeping key inside the darkness and searching outside in the light. So, how we are finding the difference and how we want to go for the consciousness from the identity. So, that is very nice. And we have to beg, steal, or borrow for the spiritual power. That what you want to know more. So we can do anything to get the spiritual power. We can beg, borrow, or steal. That what
No.
my conscience is going. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Lovely. Thank you.
Hello. Yes. Hello, Shreyans ji. It's a very, I can say it's a deep conversation about the consciousness. And particularly for me, the takeaway is don't fight to make, to have only one perspective. Everybody is right in their own perspective. Don't try to argue on others' perspective, right? And the paths are different. Ultimately, the destination is same. Thank you very much for reinforcing the thought. Thank you.
And that's why Buddha never spoke on consciousness. He chose not to spoke. People asked him also, he said, he gave the example of, somebody is hurt with an arrow. And if you're being hurt by an arrow, somebody has put an arrow on you and you're bleeding, what would you do? What would you ask? Oh, the arrow has come from which direction? What is the metal it is made of?
ఏం చేస్తాను అంటే ఇవన్నీ తెలియకుండా ఈ ತರ
Are you going to look for all
వండుకోలేదు
those things?
తినుకోలేదు వాళ్ళ కోసమే నిజాన్ని
Someone has to go on to mute, please. Yeah.
Are you going to look for all those things, or are you going to first take out? So what are you going to do first? So he says first learn to drop your identity. And that's why Buddha talk about anapansati, vipassana, no mind. And then that experience of consciousness naturally emerge anyways. Right? When the wave loses identity, the ocean is there anyway underlining. Right? So that's why Buddha chose not to speak about it, because at that time there were so many Vedantic schools, and there were so many rituals, and there were so many different Hindu schools fighting for philosophies, and the very basic. And Buddha never wanted to get into those unnecessary arguments. He wanted to say, how do you make your current life better? How to make. To Buddha was a very scientific temperament. That's why he chose that in this moment of time, all I need to give the right wisdom to make the current life better. How to master your thoughts and emotions. You have already come into three-dimensional reality to master your thoughts and emotions. So how do I teach them that, rather than going to the topic of consciousness and then get into the debate and arguments, right? And once you meditate, and that's why Buddha spoke about meditation, once you meditate, anyways, you'll realize that.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Because Shreyans, two more persons are there to interact with you.
Just my laptop battery is low. I'll just charge it just a moment.
Okay. Gayatri మాట్లాడండి. ఉమాదేవి పలకాల. గాయత్రి అందరినీ మ్యూట్ చేయండి. ఇందాక కూడా డిస్టర్బెన్స్ వచ్చింది. మాట్లాడే వాళ్ళే ఆన్ లో ఉంటారు.
Yes.
Yeah. Hi, sir. Namaste, sir. My name is Gayatri from New York. It's excellent explanation in the Vedanta, Sankhya Vedam. And the Sankhya is the, from beginning, that is the, um, from the first dharmas, where are our complete chaitanya में हमको कहाँ से शुरू हो गई तब से ही सांख्य वेदा है, राइट? अभी
Yes.
क्या ऐसा सांख्य वेदा में बहुत अच्छे आपने एक्सप्लेन किया था। वो जो प्रकृति पुरुष अद्वैत तत्व दैट इज आल्सो आई अंडरस्टैंड वेल। कॉन्शियसनेस इज द, कैसे एक्सप्लेन करना है, अब बहुत अच्छे एक्सप्लेन किया था वो कॉन्शियस का ही। अभी तक हम लोग बहुत लोगों से भी सुना ये वाला। अभी आप लास्ट में परसेप्शन एक एक है। अभी एक अंधा 5 पीपल अब अंधा जो एलिफेंट को पकड़ के ऐसा ही है, ऐसा ही है, ऐसा झगड़ा नहीं करना है, ऐसा है तो हमको ये जो अंदर जाओ बोल रहे हम अभी मेडिटेशन का सबको बोल रहे थे। एंड किसी और का वो जो रिलीजन उनका है, एक और रिलीजन वो लोग का अदर है। अभी हम मेडिटेशन कर लो बोल के किस रिलीजन से बोलते हैं, नहीं बोल सकते ना। देयर परसेप्शन दे हैव, राइट?
Yes.
Then how we will spread the meditation?
See, we all do our part and we depart, right? We all share our knowledge. We don't force our knowledge. It is not, again, that is another kind of force. Like sometimes you say, oh, everybody has to meditate. Again, it is again like it's as good as saying that everybody has to become Hindu or
Yeah,
everybody,
mean,
right?
yes,
We honor everybody's choice while we spread what we have to say, while we share our wisdom, our understanding, or while we spread meditation, teach meditation, but we don't want to force anybody into meditation. We honor their choice, and if they don't want to meditate, so be it. We are happy about it. We respect
yes.
their choice. What is there to feel bad about it? और why do you say सबको कैसे सिखाएंगे?
हाँ जी,
It's like
कुछ लोग मैंने बोली तो मेडिटेशन में
it's like you're a rose. You're saying that every flower should become a rose only because I am a rose.
ऐसा नहीं, हम स्प्रेड करना है ना मेडिटेशन के लिए, इसलिए किसी और से पूछ लिया तो हम ये जो मेडिटेशन है ये मेडिटेशन कर लो, मैंने किया था बहुत अच्छे है मेरा, आप भी कर लीजिए, देन आपको भी बहुत अच्छे आप क्या चाहते हैं वो
Yes.
पा सकते हैं एंड आपका
Yes.
अवेयरनेस भी आ जाएगी। ऐसे मैंने बोल दिया तो कुछ लोग को गुस्सा आ रहे, कुछ लोग मुंह से सुन के साइलेंट हो रहे, कुछ लोग दूर जा रहे, फिर वापस।
Respect their choice, and you respect their choice.
यस 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 ऑब्वियसली।
Whoever is ready will come to it. Who is not ready will not come to it, and you honor that choice. You honor the soul's.
You have to accept.
The silence,
Yes.
you respect it. You bow down to it. Ki, oh, lovely. That's this world is beautiful because of that diversity, not because of a sameness.
Yes.
Yes.
It's because you're spiritual, so everybody should become spiritual. Again, it is again a cultish approach.
Yes.
हाँ जी, हाँ जी, मैंने शुरू में मेडिटेशन में आई तो
We are not here to form a cult. We are here to enjoy our differences.
यस
To enjoy,
यस यस।
right?
हाँ जी, अभी अभी मेरे को ऐसे पता चल गए, बिफोर मैंने शुरू में मेडिटेशन में आई तो सारे लोग को मेडिटेशन करो मेडिटेशन करो मेडिटेशन करो ऐसे ऐसे बोलते रहते थे मैंने बहुत कुछ लोगों को। बट अभी मैंने ये बोलने में मैं क्या पा रहे मैं क्या खो रहे मेरे को पता चल गया. Then I have to enjoy myself first.
Yes.
Power of now, present. That is मैंने बहुत अच्छे अंडरस्टैंड किया था. Then मैंने वो स्टार्ट किया. Then लोग पूछ रहे अभी मेडिटेशन कैसे करने सिखाओ. ये बहुत अच्छे बोल के ये मेरे को बहुत अच्छा लगा. पावर ऑफ नाउ इज द हम करना चाहिए एवरी एस्पेक्ट में प्रेजेंट एंजॉयमेंट इन द मोमेंट.
Yes.
People will learn from you eventually when you become an example of what you're teaching. Right?
Yes.
In my family, when I learned meditation, when I got to with Patrisa, nobody was a meditator in the family, and everybody resisted it. But when they saw a change in me, they saw my behavior, they saw my actions, they saw the choices I make, they saw how I handle difficult situation, how I handle adversity, and they saw even in that adverse situation, I was calm and I was composed and I had clarity. And when they saw all those things over a period of time, then they started realizing, oh my God, how can he be so at ease even when we are going through so much of challenge? Yeah. So then they take inspiration. Then they say, oh, and I said, oh, this is because of meditation. And they say, oh, then I also want to learn. Right?
Yes,
So eventually everybody in my family started doing meditation. So sometimes you have to have patience, right? And you have to demonstrate through your action. So you have to become a living example.
हाँ जी.
If you want to raise whole of humanity, you need to raise whole of yourself.
Yes,
So
yes,
you have to work all on yourself. So there is no force.
yes,
There is no force,
yes, sir.
right? So you honor everybody's choice, and that's how. And when you honor others' choice, they honor your choice. You know?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Yes.
thank you so much, sir.
Yes. Thank you.
That is only the sweetness of the spirituality. We honor everybody. We enjoy everything. Unity in
Yes.
diversity. Yes.
Yes.
ఉమాదేవి పలకాల మాట్లాడతారా?
Yeah. Yeah. Namaste, sir. Shreans,
Namaste.
you said very well about the consciousness. You covered the first thing. Turiya Sthiti is the very best stage of the consciousness. And again, Panchakoshas, how it will, we can, ultimate stage, the Ananda state. And how we know the consciousness, when we go inside only, we can know the consciousness, we are finding outside of ourselves in the world. But that is not true. We can search the more in inner side of ourselves only, then we can connect the consciousness. We can all the time aware what we are doing, what we are thinking. Awareness is the very ultimate to reach up the consciousness. That's what I understand. Is it true, sir? Right? Awareness is the main. And
Absolutely.
what,
I'll give you
yeah, all that
example.
time.
I'll give you one more example. It will give you more clarity. See, one child living in a village told his father, Father, I want to go to a movie theater. He has never been to a movie theater. So father says, okay, chalo, I'll take you to watch a movie to the town, to the city. On the way, he asked father, how is the movie theater like? He said, oh, the movie theater there's a big screen and a projector runs and the movie runs on that screen and and the image comes and you see and you see the whole movie on that screen. So he got very excited. Now when they reached the movie theater, say the movie name was Mahabharat was going on. The movie was Mahabharat. And they reached little late, the movie had already started. He asked Father, you said, oh, there's a screen. Where is the screen? He said, right in front of you. He said, oh, so Mahabharat say Krishna was talking to Arjun. He said, no, I can see Lord Krishna. He said, no, behind that there's a screen. No, behind that there's Arjun. No, behind that there's a screen. Oh, behind that there's a chariot. No, behind that. Oh, behind that there's a soldiers fighting. No, behind that. And the scene changed. Again, he says, Father, there is a screen. Again, the new scene, Father says, oh, see this behind that. See this behind that. Father could not explain him where's the screen. Eventually, the movie got over. And the screen became blank. And then the son realized, oh, this is the screen.
This is the screen.
Right? So
Wonderful.
what is going on? He could never explain where the screen is. So until the movie of our whole identity goes on, we can never, even though the consciousness is there underlining, everything underlining is screen and is the consciousness, and everything is happening is within the ambit of consciousness, but yet we are unaware of consciousness because we are lost in that activity, right? So, but even in Mahabharata, if somebody is dying or somebody is being injured and the blood is bleeding, the screen never gets tainted by the blood.
Yes.
Right? If it's raining in the movie, if it's raining, the screen never gets wet. Same thing, no matter what is happening in our life, the
Yes.
screen is untainted, unaffected.
Yes.
Yes.
And that consciousness remains unaffected.
Yes.
And that is what we truly are. That is what we are. We
Yeah.
are that screen, right?
Your explanation is
So-
very nice, sir. Actually, this consciousness topic is going on January 2nd. All the masters are telling the every different perceptions. Your perception is very ultimate, sir. It's very nice. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you so much.
Shreyans, very wonderfully. We are in the other dimension now. Very well explained. Thank you so much. Uma Devi Palkala. You may.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Shreyan, sir. You explain very well the consciousness. Thank you. And deepest gratitude to you. Thank you, all masters. See you tomorrow again.
Thank
Thank
you
you
all.
all.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.